Welcome back to BackBit Impawsible. This is the part where we finally take our bitmap frames and convert them into character sets. Finally. And all we do is load in the bitmap frame, convert it, and then write 4K back to the BBT, a character set, video matrix, and color RAM. And we put them in the same 32K chunk of, the BBT where the original bitmap frame came from. It's a nice way of keeping everything organized. And I kind of like this. But I got something for you here. At the end of this video, I do put the source to Character Maker 7.11 for your viewing pleasure, if you wanted to see it. To explain how how all the code works takes far too long, and even though this is a coding adventure, so to speak, explaining that code is really time consuming and can be boring. So it's there if you want it, if you want to look, and I put some notes for you as well, but the parts that I really want you to pay attention to, the magic is there's a section of code that creates a special table that is needed by the cellular comparison routine. And, pay attention to that, and it works in tandem with the cell compare, or whatever it's called, at 9000. And you'll see that I made the ability to compare two cells and get a pixel difference value for them incredibly simple. I am very proud of this because it is such a central part of how all these programs work. I had to make it as absolutely fast as I could. And but that's a little technical. So if you're more of a novice programmer, check out, what's it called? Bump mobs. The little code that updates the sprite in the bottom right corner. You'll get a kick out of it. You'd think it was something super technical where I'm updating a single byte value and then breaking it down into 3 digits. No. It's easy, it's fast, it's brilliant. I love it. And I guess that's it for that, because we got to get to the stuff here. There's a whole pile of clips to look at. So anyway, now you kind of know what's going on. Oh yes, after I did make version 7.11, which you're going to see at the end of this video if you bother to look, I did spend a few days improving it. I changed never mind how I changed it. In fact, I made an entire video about those changes, and it was so boring. I'm not even going to show you. That's why I'm making this video instead, the one after it. So yeah, there'll be a lost episode if anybody ever wants to watch, but nobody ever will. Don't worry, it sucks. Okay, so let's get to the clips.
I just started the real deal at frame 0. We'll see if it ends up saving when this is done. How do you see both in the shot? Well, whatever. 800, 900. That should be the save. And it's sort of locked up. That's not a good sign. Oops. And my program seems to end here. Yeah. Well, that's why you save before you run important stuff, eh? Where'd the rest of it go? Oh, man. Okay, I think I fixed the problem. Well, this isn't it, but now we're playing with fire. This is the real deal. What I didn't do right, I left the ROMs out at some point. Yeah, because I'm stupid. Anyways, here we go. So in about 20 seconds, we're going to find out if this records or not. And then it should have a, next to nothing pause. 2000, a count of 2000 is pretty fast with the SuperCPU. So it's going to blurp something and then start with the next frame. But let's see, 9,900, boom. And yes, it started with frame 1. Okay, that's good. I don't know if it actually saved it, but I mean, I guess I could queue it up and see if it's there before I go too deep. But let's see what happens when this frame finishes. You'll see a flash of something on the screen. Actually, I put in a little wedge. If I hold the back arrow key, there, haha. So there we go. Okay, this is a complete hack. I have one frame. Well, let's take a look. There. I was able to bring in the one character set that I produced, copied it to 6,000 hex, and then brought it down via BASIC to 2,000 for the character set, and the video matrix to 0400, color M where it should be, set the multicolor registers, I believe, properly. So this picture should match entirely the one that is produced. And this is the quick and dirty program to take a look at it. It does this, and for some reason the colors weren't happening and it was all screwed up, and I realized because I stored them in the color RAM. Yeah, that's all I needed to do. Are you kidding me? Anyway, check this out. Now I've loaded the stuff into 6,000, so it's not where I can access it yet, but let's copy it to places I can. There. And that truly is the frame, the character set version of the frame. Oh, and the colors, I stuffed the background color in Color RAM plus 1,000 and the other two multicolors in 1,001, 1,002. And I switched them back because I had them crisscrossed. I had DO22 and 23 reversed, and it was driving me batty, but now they're in the proper order. This is good. So now I can finally get this sucker started, automated style. Oh, man, I feel sick, but I know it's going to work. That's cool. Well, it's been running for an hour and 45 minutes. Hey, what do you know? Here's one of the frames that the SuperCPU buggered up. Yeah, as you can see, well, it's black where it shouldn't be black. We got this, we got that. But yeah, less than 2 hours and 252 frames are done. Well, this one too is pooched. But yeah, it's better to do it in, say 30 seconds versus however many minutes it would take otherwise. But I will have to go back and do these ones again later, slowly, without the SuperCPU even being turned on. But yeah, the lion's share of them I can get through like this, unless it screws everyone up. Here's a good one. But yeah, it's just cool. I mean, now I get to go to bed, and I'm going to wake up, and I should be, hundreds of frames into this. And every one of these frames is a 24th of a second. Wow, eh? It's kind of cool. It's not really, but it's rendering video on the Commodore 64. It's a thing, and it's happening right here. That's kind of cool. All right, bedtime. Well, it's morning, and as you can see, it's up to 1,200 frames here. I just thought of something, and it's one of the rare times where the SuperCPU optimization mode will come in handy. I think I'm going to kick this in and have it just optimize that second bank. The problem is right now I've got a lot of my work variables in that second bank, like the work flags, the alternate flags, just things that don't need to be mirrored to screen memory, like the 64's memory. So what I can do is just change a few equates in the beginning of the machine language, reassemble it, throw in a few pokes to optimize for the SuperCPU mode that I want, and then unoptimize it on the way out, so at least I still get some sort of basic when I'm done. And yeah, and then get this thing revved up again and have it continue from frame whatever that I leave off on, and it'll be going all day at an accelerated rate. Like, I mean, right now it's about, I think the default with all the screen memory or screen mirroring it needs to do, like the memory mirroring, it's about maybe 12, 13 times faster. That can be closer to 20. In some cases, it's actually faster than 20 because of it. But yeah, so we'll see what I can do here because, yeah, I'm itching to eke out a little more speed out of this now that I'm not going to be monitoring it all the time. We'll see how this goes. 13, 14 seconds is what I'm getting now. I was getting about 19 seconds per frame before. Why didn't I do this earlier, right? But the optimization mode on the Super CPU is just a series of pokes. Three pokes on the way to this routine and 3 pokes out of it, so at least my basic results get mirrored to the standard memory. The bottleneck is 1 byte. If you end up writing to that 1 byte like 2 times in a row, it's like cars going through a tunnel. They have to wait for each other. But if there's only 1 write in this bottleneck every, say, 20 machine cycles or so at Super CPU speed, the bottleneck clears itself before the next byte comes along, and it doesn't matter. But if I'm trying to write a bunch in succession, that's where the slowdown is. So as you can see, I'm getting 14, 13 seconds a frame here. I might just, yeah, I think I will. I'm going to relocate things that don't need to be in this zone completely out of it and out of that video bank and see how that changes things because, yeah, whatever. I'm leaving this. I truly am leaving this. It is already 75 minutes since I woke up. And I am still on the same frame that I was back then. So yeah, an hour plus later, pretending to save time, I've wasted it. But in a few hours, the gains that I have made just by turning on the optimization mode is going to definitely pay off. So by the time I get home, this should be, I don't know, probably closer to 3,000 maybe, 2,500. We'll see. Look how much progress has happened during the day. And these particular frames, or at least a few that just went by, oh man, you can barely see the history. They were getting around 600 jiffies. So it was a little over 10, maybe 11 seconds to do a whole frame. There was a lot of sky in those frames. Too bad I missed it. I didn't get any footage. But yeah, this is pretty cool. And of course, it's making tons of mistakes. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to, well, I'll make some program that'll go through this myself and document all the corrupted ones. I think I can basically rip out the basic that I'm using in this particular program and make a bunch of data statements, kind of like my benchmark program. Read them, do each frame, keep going until they're all done. And then I can play it again and see if any of them still need fixing. But I am saving heaps of time. This Super CPU has, saved the day again on a super time-consuming project. Even the Commander X16 would not have been able to do it this quickly because that's only 8 megahertz. Well, I don't have one yet, but it's interesting. Well, that's a different subject for a different project and all that stuff. But I can tell you this, I am anxiously awaiting the end of February 2024, It's like Christmas time. I've never been this excited for a new toy. Man, since I learned to drive, basically. It's that much fun. And I sure hope it turns out to be, kind of like the Commodore 64 Plus that I'm hoping it is, because it's going to be so familiar and yet so capable, and this is not what this video is supposed to be about. But anyway, yeah, if you haven't heard of the Commander X16, what rock have you been living under? Man, it's good stuff. Check out David Murray's, that's the 8-bit guy, check out his videos on it. The thing's for sale, well, for pre-order, but some people have already got it. You can use the emulator if you want. I don't have the emulator because I don't want to play on an emulator. I want the real deal. And from what it appears to be, it's exciting. And it's basically, if you know 6502, you're going to feel right at home there. And the video is a little more capable. The audio is a lot more capable. And up to 2 megabytes out of the box. Well, 512K for sure. unless you want to pony up some extra money. But good stuff, good stuff. I know. There's enough hype for the X16 out there, but count me part of that little hype train. I like it. And here we are. Oh boy. Well, it's 10 o'clock at night. So in the last 12 hours, it has gone, well, 2,800 more frames. So it's doing very well. However, how many of those it's corrupted is anyone's guess at this point, but I'll get them fixed. But I'm just glad I'm finally powering through this. I sure hope it's actually working properly. I guess I won't know until it's done, right? Because I'm just going to let this thing go. Probably another day? Well, by the time I come home from work tomorrow, it should be finished. And yeah, cool, eh? All right, I guess we'll see. Well, take a look. I'm going to hold control down. At least I have this. You see the times on these latest frames? Because there's a lot of sky, right? So this is 11.5 seconds, 12 seconds. They are doing like fast. The global mismatch is not very desirable, but then again, there's a lot of foliage, right? So how does it know? It's not smart enough to just go, this is grass, let's just, trash it and concentrate on the wolf. So that would be great, but I'm not smart enough to even, make that distinction. Well, maybe I am actually, because you could say if there's this color, treat it with a higher level of concern than this. But oh man, I am not doing that. But still, there's so many things you can do just with programming and math and attacking different ideas. But as it is, like honestly, this took like months to get to this point. And I am surprised that I've come up with a routine that does in 15 seconds, which used to take a half an hour with the SuperCPU. And the results are almost the same. I wonder why they're not absolutely identical, but then again, I could explain it, but I can barely understand it myself. Anyway, bedtime. Let's see where this is in the morning, okay? All right, deal. Ciao. Well, it's 10 a.m. It's been running for over a day now. 2,000 frames to go. It's going to finish while I'm at work. And then begins the slow task of fixing all the mistakes.